Joshua chapter 10 alone shows how these are vampires we're up against. The Canaanites are all vampires. These Canaanites were carried over from Cain's lineage. Notice that Cain was banished from the face of God and from the surface of the earth. God said in the beginning, when he said, let there be light, the word let there be is Yehi. I am to be light. And he called the light good and associated the light with day, morning, and evening. And he separated the good light from darkness. And he called the light day and he called the darkness night. If Cain was banished from the surface of the earth, that means that he's in the earth. Like he's a cave dweller. Like he literally is in tunnels under the caves, in these caves and tunnel systems. Why do you think our elite are building bunkers? They've already had plenty of them. Why do you think we're making a train that goes under the ocean from New York to London or whatever? That's insane. Anyways, let's get to the scripture to prove to you these are vampires. And the men of Gibeon sent unto Joshua to the camp of Gilgal, saying, slack not thy hand from the servants, come up to us quickly and save us and help us. For all the kings of the Amorites, who are descendants of the Canaanites, that dwell in the mountains, are gathered together against us. So Joshua ascended from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. And the Lord said unto Joshua, fear them not, for I have delivered them into thine hand. There shall not a man of them stand before thee. Joshua therefore came unto them suddenly, and went up from Gilgal all night. Notice this was in the nighttime that the Amorites decided to come and attack. Because what? They're separated from the presence of God that's associated with day, morning, and evening. And the Lord discomforted them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them along the way that goeth up to Beth-horon, and smote them in Azekah, and unto Makkedah. And it came to pass, as they flew from before Israel, and were going down to Beth-horon, that the Lord cast down great stones from heaven upon them unto Azekah, and they died. They were more which died with hailstone than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. God was really doing the work for them, like he said, don't fear, I got your back. This makes it more obvious they're vampires right here. Then spake Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people avenged themselves upon their enemies. So the sun stayed with them in Gibeon, where they're then warring still. We're about to go in Jasher and prove they're vampires even more in a second, but we're almost done with this. Is it not written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day, and there was no day like it before it or after it, that the Lord hearkened unto the voice of man, for the Lord fought for Israel. But these 5 kings fled and hid themselves in a cave in Makkedah, and it was told that Joshua is saying that these 5 kings are found in a cave in Makkedah. Why would they flee after he tells the sun to stay still and the moon not to come? Unless they're vampires. And Joshua said, roll great stones upon the mouth of the cave, set men by it for to keep them, and stay ye not, but pursue after your enemies, and smite the hindmost of them. Suffer them not to enter into their cities, for the Lord your God hath delivered them in your hand. Then said Joshua, open the mouth of the cave, and bring out the 5 kings unto me out of the cave. And they did so, and brought forth the 5 kings unto him out of the cave, and the king Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon. And it came to pass, when they brought out those kings unto Joshua, that Joshua called for all the men of Israel, and said with the captains of the men of war which went with him, come near, put your feet on the necks of these kings. And they came near and put their feet on the necks of them. And Joshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed, and be strong and of good courage, for thus shall the Lord do to all your enemies against whom ye fight. And afterward Joshua smote them, and slew them, and hanged them on 5 trees, 5 kings, 5 trees. And they were hanging upon the trees until the evening. And it came to pass at the time of the going down of the sun, that Joshua commanded that they took them down off of the trees, and cast them in the caves where they had been hid, and laid great stones in the cave's mouth, where remain until this very day. Notice he took them down off the trees after the sun went down, and he threw them into these caves when the sun went down. Notice that they came from inside the mountains, these kings, to go war with Joshua and Gibeon. These are literal vampires. We're about to show you in Jasher how they're vampires next. That's literal vampires right there. Several celebrities have publicly disclosed fascination with consumption of blood, often citing it as romantic, artistic, or personal ritual. Notable examples are Megan Fox, Machine Gun Kelly, who consumed each other's blood, as well as actor Jim Parrick and artist Julia Fox. Jim Parrick admitted that he sometimes drinks his own blood, describing it as an impulse that he enjoys the taste of. The actress and artist Julia Fox created art in 2017 using her own blood to paint on for an art show, aiming for a personal and authentic raw aesthetic. Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie, during their marriage, the couple famously wore vials of each other's blood around their necks as a token of devotion. Travis Barker showed a photo of a vial of his own blood on social media in 2021. In 2019, Billie Eilish stated that she likes the taste of blood.